Hey guys, welcome to another commentary. This week it's DuckHunt Dog. This is going to be really interesting because I'm rendering the After Effects file while watching the Premiere file to see how fast it's going to go. And right now I made a 30-minute drawing, well 40 minutes, because if you may notice, this isn't what we're seeing right now isn't what's actually in the other video, and that's because I started drawing him. I did 10 minutes worth of a drawing, and I was like, I don't like this pose, and I tried it again, and I much like the second version of it, but I thought I would include the first version. One, that way the commentary isn't super slow, or at least the footage wouldn't be super slow, because it's only 30 minutes. Like I was shocked to find out. It felt like I did it in an hour, but it was 33 minutes, not counting the first sketch, which was another 10 minutes. So I did this basically in 45 minutes. And so, yeah. So, really quick one. I know I promised that I was trying to, like, spend more time on these, but in the next 2 weeks, I got a lot of stuff, a lot of, just a lot of projects piled on here. Within 2 weeks, I have 4 different animations to do. I know I'm 100% capable of doing it. I'm just a little scared of, like, how stressed out I'm going to be, or am I going to able to pull the late nights, or what am I going to have to cut out of my schedule to make these deadlines. On top of that, by the way, they're all with relatively large YouTubers, which is really cool. I don't want to necessarily name drop again because I did it in the Q&A video. But, I mean, one YouTuber has 140k subscribers, which is pretty impressive considering I only have 60k. Another one has 800,000 subscribers. And then, most recently, a 500,000 subscriber YouTuber has contacted me to do some art for him. That might be next week's Watch Me Draw. We'll see. It all depends on if our negotiations go correctly. But, yeah, I really, so the DuckHunt Dog here, I knew I was going to make it really simple. That's why I have really thick outlines. I both trying to capture the whole, like, old school artwork where everything had thick outlines, as well as, I just needed something fast and quick. And, mostly because I just didn't want to do another Yo Mama piece so soon. And, I mean, they're supposed to be, like, my last resorts, and I hate putting them up there, though they apparently do really well. I mean, compared to the Markiplier video, which only got, roughly 4,000 views within its first week, the Yo Mama video that's only been up for a couple of days already has 7,000. So it's just like, you guys apparently like the Yo Mama videos, but I also don't really want this to be a Yo Mama drawing channel, if you know what I mean. Well, this week, I did another one. They kind of, like, cut out one of the ones I did. They didn't really like it, and so I had to do a new one. And I've been kind of questioning whether I even want it. Like, it's a good drawing. Like, I really like the character designs on there. The backgrounds are a little lacking, but, like, I don't know if I necessarily want to put it on the channel because it does feature weed. And I'm not necessarily pro-weed, nor am I against weed. I'm kind of neutral. I don't do it. I've never tried it, and I probably won't. But, it's just like one of those things where it's like, do I put this on the channel? Like, because I know there's a lot of kids on my channel, and I know that, like, I seem to be a pretty, rated E for everyone type of channel. You know what I mean? This is what I mean. I think the pose here is a lot stronger than the first one, as you can see here. I'm doing the flip technique just to see a little bit of the perspective, make sure everything's good, and I am using the Lazy Nozumi again to make my lines extra smooth, which is pretty sweet. And so, yeah. So the DuckHunt Dog as Banjo Kazooie. Why? Well, one, Black Nerd Comedy. I commented on one of his videos, and I actually got a lot of response from it. Like, I was surprised to see 87 likes on my comment. But I mentioned that I wish Nintendo would buy back buy back Banjo Kazooie, because I'm a really big fan of Banjo Kazooie. In fact, Banjo Kazooie is, like, my #1 favorite game. And if I knew how to do that, like, paper origami, I would totally make myself one. But I do have a Banjo action figure from Diddy Kong Racing, which is pretty cool. I lost the car, but at least I have, the actual Banjo figure. And so when the DuckHunt Dog first got leaked, it wasn't a physical leak. Like, they just showed, like, a picture of him, but they didn't show, like, his movesets or anything. And a lot of people were saying that the DuckHunt Dog movesets were based off Banjo Kazooie, as if Banjo Kazooie was originally planned to be in the game, and then was taken out last minute and replaced with Duck Hunt Dog. Now that we've seen the actual footage, it's not necessarily the case, but I figured with that kind of, play on it, why not? Let's play with this. In fact, Duck Hunt Dog's actually the character in Smash Bros. That I'm the most excited for. I think he's a really, really cool character. I always love their retro throwbacks. I mean, you guys seen it. I love Betty Boop, Felix the Cat. So whenever like a new thing kind of throws back at something, I'm always cool with it. I'm 100% okay with that. And Duck Hunt Dog, I think, represents a lot. After looking at his movesets, it's not just Duck Hunt, and it's not just the Duck Hunt Dog. It seems more like you're playing as the guy with the gun. And then the NES Zapper was a really big part of the NES. And the Duck Hunt, I know some people are like a little upset that like Duck Hunt Dog's in it, and they don't really understand, like why is this dog? Why some random character that only appeared in one game? But the Duck Hunt Dog is a really iconic piece of Nintendo history. If you really think about it, most copies of Super Mario Brothers came with Duck Hunt. And a lot of people had the Zapper, and everyone, the Duck Hunt Dog laughed. Whenever you played Duck Hunt, if you missed the ducks, the dog would pop up and laugh at you. And that was really, really iconic to a lot of people. I believe VH1 did I love the 80s or I love the 90s, and they even mentioned it there. I might be wrong. That might be my memory playing around with me. But I guarantee anyone that was born before 1995 is pretty much really they associate the Duck Hunt Dog with Nintendo. And more people know about him than say Shulk from Xenoblade Chronicles or any of the Fire Emblem characters, which they obviously deserve their own spot too. But the Duck Hunt Dog is a really big part of Nintendo history, at least in my opinion. And I'm really excited to play with him. He looks like he's a joke character, which works perfectly fine with him. But if you look at his movesets, it does look like you're playing the Zapper, like you're playing the gun, and the dog is just dodging you, which is a really, really cool way, especially since he has the wild gunman and such. It looks like he represents that whole genre of gaming, not just Duck Hunt, which is really, really cool, especially with a game like Smash Brothers, with that, I feel like it's always Nintendo's history that we're supposed to represent. So that's why I'm okay with, some people complain about Wii Fit Trainer, but Wii Fit and the Miis really do represent a section of Nintendo's history. The casual gaming, sure, not everyone likes casual gaming, but that is what Nintendo's known for now. So it deserves a spot. Anyone that doesn't know me knows that, or anyone that knows me knows I love Banjo Kazooie. It's one of my favorite games. I actually prefer it on the Xbox Live Arcade version, to be honest. I know a lot of people associate, Microsoft as this terrible, terrible thing, and it is. No one liked Nuts and Bolts. Nuts and Bolts is kind of a terrible game. It's not a terrible game. It's a terrible Banjo Kazooie game. And it was just really, really disappointing. Fun fact, I did buy Sonic and All-Star Racing, a game that I would probably just pass up, mostly because Banjo-Kazooie is in it, at least in the Xbox version. So I immediately bought that. For the longest time, Banjo-Kazooie's new design really, really bothered me. And that was one of those things where it's but it's totally grown on me since then. I really wish Nintendo would buy back Banjo-Kazooie because I think he would be a great asset for the Wii U or the 3DS. I would love a Banjo-Kazooie 3DS game, like a remake with enhanced graphics. That would be awesome. I really do want to see Banjo-Kazooie again. I might have said this one. I tried recording this once and I kind of stopped, but I do have a Banjo-Kazooie action figure sitting on my desk, and I have a plushie in my closet. It's, I'm a big fan. I might have the one or two things that, they actually made of merchandise. I really do want to get me one of those not get me, but if anyone knows or sells papercraft stuff on Etsy or something, leave a comment down below, because I desperately want one of those the Banjo-Kazooie paper models where people print off a thing and they're able to fold it and it looks like a N64 model. There was a guy that was on my live streams for a long time that was saying that he was making me a harder version of it. It wasn't made out of plastic. It was made out of or not made out of paper. It was made out of plastic. But he kind of fell off the face of the planet. I was really, really stoked. I was like, he's making me one. But yeah, I'm just too dumb to figure out how to do the papercraft itself. But yeah. So with this shading, I actually really liked how this came out. I'm not normally a big fan of the soft brushes, But because I always use harsh brushes and I like having that, like, you know, paper texture. I don't really like that blend. But here, I feel like I was able to get both, like, you know, the harshness of, like, you know, certain sections. Like, say, underneath his, you know, directly underneath his head, there needed to be, like, this harsh line. But then there's kind of this soft shading, you know, like a normal gradient you would have when you put lights on someone. So that came out pretty cool. And I really enjoyed the rim light I put on, you know, some of the skin texture. I guess it's fur. But yeah, and then there's kind of like this, I wanted to make sure the dog was kind of chubbier, because I always imagine it being kind of this chubby dog, and I don't want to make it perfectly, you know, stand up straight, so its butt's a little bit further behind. And I really like how the duck came out. He almost kind of came out a little anime-y, I guess, like, not super, like, generically anime, but, like, you know how Japanese drawings have certain, like, a style to it. Maybe it's the thick outlines. I didn't know what to do with his the skin tones. I wanted to do here, I wanted to make it as classic as possible while keeping it, you know, modern. So, like, a lot of the colors here are a little bit more saturated than I normally would work with. And one thing that I did, I actually stopped the recording. I was like, okay, I'm done with this. Then I noticed one thing, and there's his muzzle in the updated version. It's not actually white. So, like, I was going off the NES model, and then I saw, like, some footage from Smash Bros. And I was like, oh crap, his muzzle is actually you know, tan. So I come back here, and there's like a 1 minute clip that I tacked onto this just to make his muzzle tan again. But yeah, so, sorry this one was a really simple watch me draw, but it was either this or another Yamama piece, and I didn't feel comfortable having them back to back. Next week might be a Yamama piece, next week might be Try Hard Ninja, I don't know, we'll find out. But, or, I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying not to make any gaps between the schedule, just because I'm finally actually getting my stats up. It looks like I'm finally actually, you know, starting to get the analytics correctly where I need it to be, and if I start making gaps, like not posting stuff, it's going to crash the channel again, and I feel like we're finally making progress. Here we go with me trying to change this as quickly as possible. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary, and I'll see you guys next week, hopefully with a new cool video. Maybe I might do a Smash Brothers digital sketchbook. Who knows?